Welcome, everyone, to A Mexican and a Redneck Follow the World. We are your hosts and surrogate fathers, Juan and Ben. Today, we'll be discussing competition is important, comparison is useless. Very intriguing, Ben. Tell me more.
I will tell you more, Juan. I'm so happy to be here to tell you. So the purpose of this, I tried to capture the entire conversation in the title because it's so important. I hate to see people compare themselves to other people in an unhealthy way. Because I can compare myself to someone who's better and say, so-and-so's better than me at throwing the ball or doing math. But I should never say, I'll never be like them. I should say, how can I be better? How can I be like them? Like a healthy competition is they're better than me. I'm seeing that, but I'm inspired to be better and not getting in that mindset of, well, they're better. I'll never be good at math, in that self-loathing state. And sometimes competition can be too aggressive as well. I acknowledge that, but it's very important to know the difference between healthy competition and healthy comparison and unhealthy competition and unhealthy comparison. And I think of, for example, a little league team. I played baseball as a kid. And you go out and everybody's batting, everybody's throwing, catching, and whether you're the best or the worst, you're still on that team, much like we're all still a team in this world, and you're all competing against each other. Even if you're on the same team, you're competing against your buddies because, you all want to win as a team and be the winning team for the year, but you also want to be the best batter, the best pitcher, the best infielder, whatever, on that team. And so you're in competition with everybody on that field all the time. But you're also, if you're in a healthy state of mind, you're going to go to the best batter and say, hey, can you give me some tips on how to hit the ball better? The pitcher, how did you hold the ball when you throw it? And at the end of the game, after you've won or lost, the coach makes all the kids line up and oppose each other, walk toward each other, and slap hands and say, good game, good game, good game. And you're doing that handshake to say, hey, look, we won or we lost, but we're going to tell you, even if we whooped you 20-0, it was still a good game because you showed up and tried. And or vice versa. If we lost 20-0, we're going to look at you and say, hey, we showed up, we tried, and you did a great job. Congratulations. But we're going to come back and do better next time and whip you.
Yeah, man. Healthy competition. I think it's something that is just so much. It's been very much twisted into something that we don't have in our society right now. These are my thoughts. But I think about this subject really makes me think a lot about you and I. Like we are in a healthy competition. In areas you are better than I am, and you stretch me to become better in those areas. But I don't feel inferior because I'm like, oh man, he's winning, I'm losing. No. I see it as like, this man is presenting me with an opportunity to become a better man. And I think sports at one point was that, where it was a healthy competition to where when you were playing a team, it was an opportunity for you to see how you can become a better player, not for you to lose. But then there's been an aspect of you're a loser or you're a winner versus no. You're a good player, you're a bad player. How can you become a good player? This game that we're playing here is an opportunity for you to grow and become a better player. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
That makes sense. And additionally, the competition itself, I want to beat you, you want to beat me. It's not that I want to flex my pride and show you how great I am. It's that every day I want to be a better version of who I am. Because and additionally, I want you to be a better version of who you are. And that's kind of the approach of this is how can we bring each other up while bringing ourselves up?
Yeah.
Because that's huge, man. That relationship of I can bring Juan up, but I can also go up at the same time. Yeah, the money might look different, but at the same time, the relationship situation might look different because it's not just one aspect of your life, for example, like baseball, but it's the camaraderie that comes with it. You know, we did something together. You might have been better or worse than me, but we were there together doing it. And we brought each other up. And then we go off to do these other jobs and we meet other people and repeat the process. And there's a whole process throughout your life where you will find that you are constantly in positions of bringing other people up while propelling yourself. You know, only one person can be the manager, but you need multiple people to do the work at a company.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got one good manager and that manager is just inspiring everyone around him, yeah, he's got competition because now they're inspired and they're working harder and they might actually get promoted above him. But if he's or she is a good manager and person, if that person gets promoted above them, he's not going to be mad at them. He's going to say, good for you. I led you and I helped you come up. And that boosts his pride in a healthy way. You know, the good pride, not the bad pride. And that's what you're going to find all throughout your life. Constantly in competition, constantly striving, but you also always have the opportunity to pull people up with you. Never leaving someone behind, you know.
So, define what you're talking about when you're talking about comparison is useless. What do you mean by that?
If I compare myself to you, for example, our listeners do not know, but you just spent half an hour trying to explain to me the purpose of cryptocurrency.
It's going to change the world, y'all.
And I spent half an hour arguing with you over something I don't necessarily understand yet. But to compare myself to you right now and go, Juan doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, what? Cryptocurrency, what is he talking about? It's some weird internet money. I don't care about that crap. That would be terrible because I'm comparing myself to you and I'm saying I'm better than Juan in that instance. Juan doesn't know what he's talking about in that example sentence I just gave. I'm comparing myself. I'm saying, what is he talking about? You know, that's the bad prideful way of saying I'm comparing myself to you. Juan doesn't know what he's talking about versus saying, well, wait a second. Maybe Juan knows something I don't. I should ask him a lot of questions, even if I don't understand or I'm confused and think this makes no sense. What is he doing? Instead of saying, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just throwing his money away. I can say, well, why? I don't understand. Well, here's my thoughts on it. Could you please help me get to the point? So that's the comparison where you're prideful and it's useless. The other comparison that is useless is, and you know, it was a little bit of a catch. You know, comparison is useless. But Juan says Juan's better at crypto than me, and I think, well, goodness, because these are things I experienced during our conversation an hour ago. Was comparison is useless? Well, Juan knows more about crypto than me. Juan's figured something out. He's ahead of the curve. There's already 10 years of crypto existing in the world. Why should I even bother? What good is this going to do me? And then just go, what's the point? There's no point jumping on the bandwagon now. This is explored territory. I'll just catch the next train. And just giving up. It's like, that's useless. Maybe there is a way I can get in on it. I just need to work hard to understand what he's talking about and then make the choice to jump on the train.
So I guess to put it in a simple phrase would be a comparison is useless when you're unwilling to understand. If your mind is already made up, then yeah, at that point comparison is useless because you've already made up your mind. But if you're still in a state of I want to understand this, then comparison can be actually very important because in order going back to competition, if you've already determined I am the best player out there and I'm going to go beat these guys and just pulverize and put them in the ground, and you do that, but then you assume that. So then you become a bully to where you're constantly just tearing down people down so that you can stay on top. But if you're in a healthy competition, you're realizing I'm really good right now, but I want these guys to get better so that I can get better. Because if I'm constantly beating guys who are, instead of being built up, I'm diminishing them down, then I'm not really growing. So then there's that, which goes back to that bad ego, which you're talking about. I'm just trying to make sense of what you're saying.
Correct. It's just like that. There's an ancient proverb that says iron sharpens iron. And that's the whole thing. The guy going out on the field to win the competition, yeah, he should be going out there to do his best, but it's to make the other people better. So the next time they play, he has to be better, right? Like you're propelling yourself by propelling others forward in that way. And the same thing, if you go in and you're just giving up, you're the worst player on the team and you're sitting out in the outfield picking flowers while everyone else is, the right fielder picking flowers is a common baseball joke, but it's true. The kid who's really bad and he just got picked and it's like, oh, that's just so-and-so. And he's sitting out there picking grass and playing. And he doesn't even have his glove on because he knows no one's going to hit it to the right field. And he's just throwing grass and flowers into his hat because he's bored. The coach is like, come on, Timmy. Come on. Stand up. Put your hat back on. Yo, get the glove on your hand. It's like, what's the point, coach? No one ever hits it to right field. Nobody wants that kid on their team. They want that right fielder that's got his hat on. He's got his glove. He's like, come on, hit it to me. Hit it to me. Get that ball in my glove. I'm going to catch it, and then I'm going to get that guy going to second out. Like that's the thought pattern of the example is get it in your head. There will come an opportunity. Even if you're the worst person on the team, they got you in the worst position, sometime you will get an opportunity. And when that ball hits and it goes straight to right field, the kid putting flowers in his hat who isn't even wearing his glove and he's half asleep, ball's just going to go over his head and he's going to miss all the opportunity. He's not even going to know that the ball was hit to him. And it's just going to be chaos and the team's going to lose because he wasn't there. Whereas if he was ready and he catches that ball, now they're going to know if we have any people who can hit it to left field or to right field, you just don't. That kid's going to catch it. Like that's not a weak point like we hoped for. And then he starts throwing it in. And it's like he's hustling as much as the shortstop and as much as the pitcher. And this whole team's a threat, So now you're building up the team, even though you're the weakest person. You're not the weak link in the chain. You're still going to give your all. And even if y'all lose, the team's going to be like, yeah, but we lost together. And there's still a pride in that loss. Like, at least we tried together. We were always building each other up. We were always going, and that's the mentality of it.
Yeah, I think that, man, that's such a different mindset. Because if you are living a life to where like, man, opportunity does not come to me because you're in right field. Is that right? What you said?
Right field.
Right field. And then you start picking flowers, start getting distracted, and instead of being ready for when that opportunity comes for you to catch the ball. Because then when that moment comes, it's going to solidify your belief. If you believe that you are defeated and you're not ready for the moment, you're going to lose. But if you believe it's like, hey, my moment's coming, and when it comes, I'm ready, it's going to solidify it either way. Either it's going to prove to you that, yeah, you're right, I am a failure, or, yeah, you're right, I am a winner. That mindset is very important. Man, that's such a good analogy, man. Such a good analogy.
Yes.
I'm starting to understand baseball a little bit better. I never really understood baseball at all, other than like I saw Angels in the Outfield, and I was like, that's my knowledge of baseball, Angels in the Outfield. And if you can throw a fastball, then you're really, really good.
I loved that movie, and I'm so glad you brought it up. That was one of the 90s quintessential baseball movies.
Yeah.
The other ones, just so y'all know, if you just want to have some awesome nostalgia, is Angels in the Outfield, The Sandlot.
Oh, yes.
That's an essential.
I saw The Sandlot too. Not as good. Sandlot, the original one, great movie.
They made a sequel.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I'll be watching that.
Don't
one.
even bother.
I don't want to. It'd be like making a sequel to the Dark Side of the Moon album by Pink Floyd. Like, you just couldn't do it.
Mm.
I mean, maybe they could, but anyways, they. But then, the third. I said there was 3. Rookie of the Year. That was my third. It was about a kid who falls and breaks his arm, and he's like a terrible sports kid. But after his arm heals, he goes to throw the ball, and he just rockets it in like 100 miles an hour every time.
That's the one I was confusing. I was confusing Angels in the Outfield with Rookie of the Year. I saw both of them though.
Yeah,
but
because the Angels grab the baseball,
yes,
and they rush it in.
Yeah, in my mind, I was combining. Yeah, that was a great movie too. Because then his arm gets healed. He's got that amazing arm, but then it gets healed to his just a regular arm, which was kind of sad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't sad. He had a great experience with his trick arm, and he got to meet his heroes and play on the major leagues. It was amazing. I kind of wanted my arm to break so that in 6 months I would be able to throw the ball like that, because I could never throw the ball very well. Anyway, I'm just saying, when you were a kid in Little League playing baseball and you watched those movies in the 90s, those movies were the equivalent to your Dark Side of the Moon album. Like, it spoke for a generation. That's with that being said. We'd like to thank you all for listening to a Mexican and a redneck father the world. We love you and we're proud of you.